You are watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next is the February 24th meeting of the Michigan City Port Authority. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
City Port Authority Board of Directors meeting, February 24th. I call the meeting to order, and I'm looking for approval or corrections of the February 10th, 2025 meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the February 10th, 2025 meeting minutes as presented.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Do we have any comments from the public tonight? Anybody? That's good. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. All right, moving on to the reports from the Harbor Master.
All right, I spoke with Colin at Edgewater Resources last week. He had some questions on some preliminary draft drawings of the creek. He's working on the Trail Creek permit for us. So he figured in the next week or two, they would have the preliminary application ready to go, and we'll get a chance to look over it before they send it in. But it sounds like they're making some progress on that. And then in the meantime, we continue working on our winter projects, finishing up some loose ends here and there. Right now, we've been repainting some of the bathroom dividers in the various bathrooms. And we've got a little bit to do on our small barge down at Trail Creek. And we did some remodeling, a different floor in the room that Brian uses for an office. So that's where we are at the moment, unless anybody has any questions.
Anybody? We're all good? All right, moving on. Reports from the Assistant Harbor Master Administration, Ms. Stuckey.
Our last part of the bills has been sent out, our money's coming in. And we about went through our list now on the 35 and 40s, which is the slips we have open. So we're able to take people who are calling in for the slips. We're doing well.
Good. All right. Any questions for Mr. Stuckey? Hearing none. Okay. Mr. Ferguson is out of town, so I'll take over looking at the budget financial oversight review and approval of bills. Top sheet goes down Blue Petroleum 1456.56. Elon's our credit card. And then we've got a new golf cart for the facilities. Menard Supplies, that's probably just what?
Johnson's, paint,
Midwest
stuff.
Okay. Midwest Security, 211190. Post and Plumbing, new water heater for this building over here. One went up and the next one was to fall, so we just did that last summer. The state for Indiana revenue, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And the $5,000 is what was last year's bill that we already had appropriated. The city just finally took it from last year. So, not having anything else bigger in there to talk about. So we had $20,757.80 in general bills, and then $5,532.55 in total EFT, making the grand total of $26,290.35. So I'm looking for approval to make the bills. A motion to pay the bills, actually.
I'll make the motion to pay the bills. I'll second.
Any discussion? Yes.
That 5,000, that will go up to 10,000 next.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
probably a year from now. At
this pace.
this pace, so we got that
I was
covered.
wondering why it was so late.
And then we have to, what's that?
Operating fund.
So we gotta move $414,000 from the operating fund into the capital improvement fund. And we're thinking a rate cut for the CD would probably be about 4%. But Mary Ann will be able to tell us exactly. She'll email us tomorrow, just let us know what we can lock it in for. So I just wanna make sure that someone will make a motion that we can move that money over and she can get the best rate tomorrow and let us know what it is.
I'll make a motion for Mary Ann to go ahead and move forward with the $5,000. what is it called?
414.
Oh, 414,000
Operating to
from
capital.
operating to capital improvement. Thank you.
I'll second the motion.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Perfect, that makes it easy. Port operations, well, Mr. Haynes is not here. For claims and insurance, port operations, that's me. Really just starting to get some applications in for summer help, so I do know that. But a lot of the people that were here last year are already starting to want to come back, so that's good news. And other than that, there's not really anything else big on the radar, other than getting the summer and having fun. So that's all I have, unless you have a question.
Did they get a raise this year from last year, or is it the same? I could look in the budget and find out, but I don't have the budget.
Summer people.
Summer people, yeah.
We changed it in the summer, right, what they're getting paid.
They haven't came back yet.
Okay,
There could be, they just haven't came back yet.
okay.
Okay.
No problem. We'll get that later. All right, Mr. Messina, Public Communications Special Events.
Not really for me too yet, I have nothing to report.
And Coho are getting hungry. Did a wonderful.
Sure.
So, all right, moving on. Mr. Manor, Master Planning Special Projects and Park Liaison.
Well, I think Tim covered the master planning part with Colin, so everyone's aware of that now, and I wasn't able to make the park board meeting last time, so I have no report either.
All right, Mr. Cypress, Advertising and Public Relations.
The only thing I've got is I'd just like to continue the discussion on signage along the wall from the Coast Guard station down to the bridge, brought up in the last meeting by Vic. I think it's a great idea that we do something with that. Just want to keep that on the table and figure out, kind of an avenue to make that happen.
Okay.
And then also, I know Marianne said a lot of people call in and pay, for a transient area out there, but maybe we continue to obviously offer that, but maybe go ahead with some signage with QR codes and things like that to make it simplistic and funnel more of that money in that we might miss, and maybe capture some more of that revenue.
I'll make you the head of that committee to
Okay.
start looking into that. And then I don't know if anybody else wants to work with Chris on that. Volunteer to help with the signage?
Sure.
All right. So we'll have to figure out when we want to meet and figure out. So go out and kind of look at things, kind of
Yep.
give us suggestions, and we can get together and talk about it, then we'll bring it back to the board.
Sure.
I'd like to make a motion that we put that on the table subjects, so that way, we can hit it every week.
Right, after we do the
We can
review.
take it off the table anytime we want,
Right.
but I'd like to table it for right now.
Yep. Sounds good to me.
Did we get a second?
I'll second
All in favor?
All in favor?
it.
Aye.
Okay.
Other than that, I didn't have anything else.
Great, no problem. All right, the attorney report from Mr. Zach.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's that time of year when we do the annual report on internal controls. So I'll send an email to staff and find out when they're available. We'll try to meet this week, and I'll do the annual interview that I do, and then write up the report, and I hope to have that prepared for the board's consideration at the next meeting on March 3rd. Then a couple of things to bring the board up to speed on. I heard back from my contact at the Economic Development Commission, and Mr. Holsey has been on vacation for quite a while now, so he forwarded the emails that I sent to him to Mr. Holsey. He doesn't think Mr. Holsey is checking his emails because, again, he's on vacation. He should be returning from vacation soon, and then I'll try to meet with him. Perhaps Mr. Frame and I can meet with him, show him the property that is at issue, and that, of course, is for the new lease, the rent amount for the lease with, right now, it's still with Holdings Group, but soon to be, I expect, it will be with Michigan City Yacht Club. But as long as Holding Groups is still paying the rent, and I'm assuming they are they?
They paid for January.
They haven't paid February?
It's always a month behind. It's billed a month behind.
Okay.
Always has been like that.
Okay, so sometime in March, we should get February's rent?
Right.
Okay, again, as long as they are paying the rent, we really don't care who pays it.
Right.
Okay?
Oh,
Then,
yeah, because they still have police.
correct.
at this
Yeah. I will be working on a license agreement in connection with the 2025-2026 Great Lakes Grand Prix. Mr. Frame was kind enough to get me a copy of the version that the Department of Parks and Recreation uses. I'll take a look at theirs and put something together that reflects generally what the terms are that they've got with the park department, and then we will get them signed up to a license agreement. So that's something I should have ready for the board's consideration at the next meeting. Then I spoke to the new attorney who is representing the yacht club, I believe, and he told me that there's some issue going on with Holdings Group and the tenant Holdings Group is maybe trying to renegotiate some terms of the lease with the tenant, and that's what has held up the closing between the yacht club and the Holdings Group. I asked earlier today for an update on that, haven't heard anything back. Again, as long as somebody is paying the rent, well, let them take as much time as they want.
Right.
But at some point, they're gonna close, and then we'll have to get on to the new lease agreement with Yacht Club. And that's all I have.
So basically, until that closes, that includes the pavilion, so we didn't have to give them a rent adjustment, but that included until
Right,
that closes.
correct.
Okay. All right. And just so everybody knows, a side note, we do have a meeting next week. That's where month collides, but just so I want to make sure everyone knows that ahead of time.
Oh, and the bids will be due for, what do we call it, base camp?
Base
Yeah,
camp.
they'll be due before that, or before 5 PM on the 3rd, right?
I have one already. Yeah.
Okay.
Other than that, we already tabled that. Anybody else have anything new they'd like to bring up for new business? I don't have any old business on here. And I'd like to thank you guys for coming out, Mr. Good. It's always a pleasure to see you. And anybody else have anything for us?
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
We're adjourned.
So, 13.